Hey y'all, it's your girl Sumya. So I already did my skincare routine. Now I'm about to go ahead and do my makeup. But while we're doing our makeup, because if you're doing your makeup with me, we're gonna go ahead and talk about like certain things that specifically I have seen, and I have wondered why, like, God, why can such and such do this specific thing, but whenever I try to do it, it just does not work for me. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand. I'm very capable of it. Like, listen, if anything, I might be a little bit more qualified than this person, like, in this area. Like, if anything, I've been wanting to do this thing for years, but like, why would I try it every single time? Like, it just does not work. And for a really long time, I struggled with why every time I would apply for some jobs, like, and when I mean some, I mean, one time it was over 200 jobs. I didn't get any, I didn't get nobody to call me back. I got one job. Well, you know what? I did get one job out of those 200 jobs. Some of the jobs did call back or text back, but they were scams. So we don't even want to include them. But the one job that did end up texting back, I think I went with the job. When I tell you that was one of the worst experiences ever. Now, mind you, I kept saying, like, God, I just don't understand why, like, I'm not getting these jobs, why I keep getting denied. Like, I know I'm qualified. I know I'm more than qualified. Like, and I was just like, God, I don't know why other people can literally sit there and get these jobs in 1 to 2 weeks. Like, I literally know people who would literally quit their jobs, right? Quit their jobs on the spot. And then 2 weeks later, they have another job. I'm like, how are y'all getting these jobs? So then I had ended up joining like this work from home job group on Facebook. You know, they have like Facebook groups and stuff like that. So I joined the Facebook group, and I'm like, okay, I'm about to really sit here and apply to these jobs that these girls saying like a lot of people are getting hired at. So I started doing it, and some people was like, these jobs have high turnover rates, so they be hire. I'm talking about they pushing hires, like they need people at the job, right? So it was like a list of 5 jobs that was like, yeah, you're gonna get these jobs. Like, people who apply to these jobs, literally they get a phone call back the same day, interview the same day, or set up the interview today, and then the next day they have the interview, right? So I'm like, okay, bet, like, I'm definitely finna get this job. Like, I'm definitely like, one of these jobs finna hit. Like, I applied to all 5 of y'all, yeah, all 5 of the little jobs that the people was talking about. Denied, no response back. And I'm like, hold on, this is crazy. This is like, why are these other people able to get a job like that, but me, I can't? I know so many people right now, their following is less than mine, like significantly less. And I'm not even at 10K yet. I'm like right there. I got like 300 something more followers to get 10K, right? But like, these people, they'll have like 1,000, 1,500. I'm like, people are sending you PR. And now I know not everybody is telling the truth, okay? I know not everybody telling the truth, but some of these people I actually know personally. I know they ain't lying. So the thing is, I'm like, God, what is going on? And I don't like to compare myself. The spirit of comparison is the devil. Don't do it, okay? But at the same time, I just kept wondering. Like, I couldn't help but to wonder. I wasn't jealous. I'm not jealous, but I needed to know, like, God, what is going on? So then I pondered to myself, right? And as I'm thinking, I'm like, it couldn't have happened for me, because that's not the direction that God wants me to go in. You see what I'm saying? Like, he don't want me to get that job, like, clearly. And it's like, sometimes we be asking God why, and he's making it so clear to us, but we're still upset about it. And I just seen 11:11 as I say this, y'all. God is so strategic. He really is. Like, he will not lead you astray, and you'll be sitting there crying like, why I couldn't get this man, or why this marriage didn't work, or why that friendship couldn't work. It wasn't supposed to work, y'all. Like, God has something better in store for you, okay? The thing is, everybody's journey looks different. So the people who got them brand deals, they were supposed to. Their journey looks a little bit different. The people who got those jobs, they were supposed to. You keep wondering why you don't have that job. You're not supposed to have that job. God told you to post content. God said work on that business. God said write that book. God said stay home. You just had a baby. Stay home. Take care of your baby. Stay home. Take care of your home. Stay home. Nurture your relationship with me is what God's saying. Stay home. Nurture your relationship. You and your husband, y'all work on your relationship. This is going to strengthen your relationship because you're staying home now. You don't need to worry about working. I'm going to provide. I'm going to give your husband a better job. You don't have nothing to worry about. You shouldn't be worrying. That's what God is saying, right? So a lot of times we be wondering, and God wants us to go in a totally different direction. Totally different direction. Me specifically, I've had a prophet come up to me and she was like, hey, how you doing? Like she just started talking to me. I'm like, what? Why is this lady coming up? Like she literally came up to me and just started talking. Mind you, this was in the middle of my isolation season. I was depressed. I was anxious. I could not sleep. I was worried all the time. I didn't have no peace. And I was getting about 3 to 4 hours of sleep, right? But I had took my daughter to the park, me and her dad. And her dad was on the other side of the park. He was playing basketball. And the lady waited until he left. I noticed that specifically, like, she waited until he had walked away. And maybe she had prayed that, like, hey, God, I need to get her by herself so I could talk to her, you know? But anyway, I remember that conversation with that lady back in 2020. And she was like, talking to me. And she was like, hey, you know, go ahead and write that book. Go ahead and finish, like, you know, post your content. Like, write that book. Start that business that you was talking about. Like, start that business. Go ahead and start a business. Do X, Y, and Z. Post your content. Write your book. I don't know this lady, and this lady don't know me. So, what you mean? Write that book you've been talking about? Because I didn't tell you that. I didn't tell you that. I don't know you. She didn't know me either, but I found out that she was a prophet. So anyway, I was like, well, I wanted to get a job, but mind you, I was like 22 at the time, so I'm talking all soft, and I'm going through my season of isolation, and I don't know who I am at that time, and my mind was all over the place. I'm racing, my head racing, my heart racing all the time. I'm just feeling sorrow every day, right? And I said to her, I was like, well, I'm thinking about getting a job, but I don't know. Like, I'm just really not, I don't know for sure. I just don't know. I just want to get a job because I need the money, blah, blah, blah. She like, no. And she emphasized again, don't get that job. Post your content, write your book, start your business. And she like, what you need to do is get your LLC. That's how I know she was sent by God, because it's just like, nothing is by coincidence. Like listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, people think that things happen it just happened. No, it just did not happen. Like, a lot of y'all are non-believers, and I'm gonna need y'all to wake up, okay? I'm so serious. But anyway, I ended up applying to a job anyway. I applied to a job, and this is the job that I was telling y'all about when I said it was one of the worst jobs ever. I got that job and I hated it. Now, mind you, God did not tell me to apply to this job. I went and I did it myself because, listen, I struggle with fear mixed with rebellion. That's a bad combination, y'all. That's a bad combination to have. The spirit of fear and the spirit of rebellion will ruin you and will keep you delayed every time. When I got to that job, y'all, I was miserable. I was miserable. A lot of times, like, when we ask God for something, he keeps saying, no, that's not your path. That's not what you're supposed to be doing. And we keep asking him. Sometimes he'll let us get it so that way we can see why he said no in the first place. I was so worried. I was so afraid. I was like, God, I have bills. What's going to happen to me and my kids? We need a home. I have bills. I have 2 kids. I can't let us struggle. It's certain things that I want. It's certain things that my kids want. I can't let us struggle. And that fear that fear, I'm not gonna sit there and tell y'all that it's not valid. I'm not gonna sit there and say that. But at the same time, what I will say is that God will not lead you astray. What I will say is that if it was not supposed to work out for you, you need to trust God that it just wasn't supposed to work out. You need to trust God that He is going to lead you on a better path. You need to trust God that you are on a better path. You may not realize it just yet, but you are. See what I'm saying? So you have to trust God in the midst of, like, it may look terrible right now. Like, literally, I'm not gonna lie. A lot of times, like, when I be going through certain things, I'm like, this looks terrible. Like, this is terrible. Like, this is the worst time period of my life type stuff. And honestly, that's how I felt about 2025, the summer of it. I felt like that was the worst summer of my life. And I just felt like, God, why am I going through all of this? And why do it look like everybody else is like just having the time of their lives? Like they're having a ball. And what am I doing? Like I am feeling like I'm breaking down. But anyway, I had to learn, like, you are on a different path. You are in a different season of your life. The reason why things are shaking up, or it's looking like it to the naked eye and to your worldly eye, is looking like, okay, I'm being shaken up. Whole time, it's that the faulty foundation is being dug up. It's literally being dug up. The faulty foundation had to come up and had to erupt. So it feels like everything under you is crumbling. Whole time, God is just letting you lay a new foundation, a clean foundation, a solid foundation to build on, because you was building on hay the entire time and you didn't even realize it. But God, the all-knowing and the almighty, seen that you was building on hay. And He said, hey, no, we finna cut this out. Let me go ahead and get my shovel and go ahead and dig this up. Because you can't be building on hay. Not a child of mine. Not a daughter of mine, not a son of mine. You won't be building on hay. You will be building on a solid foundation. You will be building on solid ground. You will be building on bricks. You will be building on the hard surface that God has up under you. So, even though that summer looked like to the naked eye, like it was terrible, and it felt terrible, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that you're not allowed to feel terrible, right? I'm not saying that you're not allowed to feel how you feel, but at the same time, you have to understand that everything is spiritual, right? And a lot of times when you are anointed and when God is calling you to do something greater and bigger, the enemy will attack you more. Like, I'm not even saying that other people don't get attacked spiritually, because clearly we see it, especially I see it a lot. I'm not trying to make this a race thing, but I do see it a lot in those black boys. They do get attacked a lot spiritually because they were meant to do something so amazing. They can't even see it right now, but they are. So you don't worry. I know it's, worry comes, it just comes sometimes. However, like my girl, prophetess Tiffany Montgomery, always said, she said, before you start to worry, and she said, she's not saying that you can't worry, but before you start to get into a entire panic and array, worship before you worry. And this is why I always tell y'all, like, to listen to praise and worship music, like in the mornings, praise and worship. Don't just start your morning off and you get into that car and you just boom, ba-dum, ba-dum. I'm not saying that you can't boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, but I am saying that you have to start putting in some good into your life. Because the thing is, like, we talking about like spiritual warfare and stuff like that, right? Whenever you are facing spiritual warfare, and don't let you be chosen. Don't let you be very anointed. Don't let you be a mighty man of valor. Baby, you're going to need to gear up in the spirit. Like, you have to. And one of those things that you can do to gear up is to listen to your praise and worship before you worry. Like, straight up. I was supposed to do a makeup tutorial, well, makeup routine, but as you can see, I yap so much to the point where it's either I yap or I do this one thing. I talk or I do my makeup. Now, I want to get better at multitasking. Okay, you better know it. I am. But right now, this is all I got done, okay? And the video's done, okay? So anyway, follow me here if you want to see more faith-based content. You know, your girl make God plus girl type of content. That's the type of faith-based content I make. Listen, I'm cutting a little different over here. So we get a little vulnerable sometimes. Okay? And yeah, I feel like that's what the girls need anyway. If you a guy over here, welcome. Welcome as well. Okay, you can stay. I ain't saying you can't stay. You can stay. You can also follow me on other social media such as TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I also do God plus girl content over there, but short form version. Now over there as well, I do like kind of like level up stuff as well. So you can follow me there. Subscribe here. Comment down below what else you would like to see. Also, before I end this video off, I mentioned praise and worship music. I actually have a praise and worship playlist on my Apple Music, so you can go ahead and get that. I'll put the link in my bio. And that's it for today's video. I'll see y'all next time, and I love y'all so much.